Good morning everyone, my name is Beena and this devilishly handsome young chap that I'm straddling between my legs in a purely platonic manner is Walter. Welcome to the channel, hope you're well. You join me on a beautiful autumnal, I was going to say morning, afternoon, midday-ish day. We probably could have just gone with day there, couldn't we? So that's what we'll do. Yeah, it is glorious. It is very cold, but beautiful sunny day. It's been really raining again. I mean, it's getting boring saying that in the UK, but yeah, it's been pissing it down all week again. And today the sun has come out, and we've had our first overnight frost of the autumn last night, and we also had some quite spectacular aurora borealis visible across a lot of the UK last night. We had some down near Luton area where I'm from. Difficult to see with the naked eye, you could just about make it out, but with a phone, with a camera, yeah, it was quite pretty, pinks and greens, very nice. So yeah, it was good that we had a frost last night with those clear skies, it really helped. But yes, still very chilly now. It's about 7 degrees Celsius. Wrapped up well. I've discovered as we've been going along that there is a bit of a flaw in my winter gear. There's a bit of a gap, and that's my ankles. I've got some lovely thick winter trousers on with a thermal liner. I've got a nice thermal base layer on top under my t-shirt and under my jacket, although I probably should have a longer sleeve top on over the top of that base layer because my arms are a little bit chilly. Nice pair of boots, thick leather boots, but they are just ankle boots and the wind is whistling around my ankles. So, oh, Roger, kite up there. So yeah, I probably need to get some different boots. I'm really annoyed with myself at the boot situation, the winter boot situation, because when I previously had a bike 10 plus years ago, I had some City, I haven't been paying attention to my directions, so I'm going the right way. I had some really nice City, what would they be? They're kind of like trials, but they weren't. They were commuter. I can't remember what they were called. I'll perhaps pop them up here. And I loved those. They were really good boots, and they looked great as well for the style of bike I was riding, which was the my Triumph Scrambler at the time. And I think that if I'd have an accident in them, I think the only thing left of me, if it had been a bad accident, would have just been my lower legs, because they were really robust. And I threw them away because when I stopped biking because of my back problems, and I thought that I wasn't going to do it again, I just threw all my gear away, which was pretty dumb in retrospect. But there we go. I guess when you think you're not going to be riding a bike again ever, why keep hold of it? So I threw them away, and the last thing that I threw away, and I kind of ummed and ahed about it, and in the end I thought, oh, why am I keeping them? And they were such good boots, and City don't do them anymore. I think the ones that replace them are kind of similar, but they're not exactly like those, and I'm a bit particular about my gear, and I really wanted a pair of those, and I've looked on eBay to try and get a used pair in my size, UK 9, but no, I can't find them. I think it was a long time ago, so probably anyone who had a pair, they've thoroughly worn out by now. So yeah, a bit disappointing, because I'd love to be able to buy a pair of those for the winter, but because none of the others that I've seen really online tickle my pickle. They don't really do it for me. So yeah, we'll have to have a look, because I think unfortunately sometimes kind of wintry type boots, waterproof leather motorbike boots, if they don't have buckles and things on them or laces, they can look really welly-like, Wellington boot-like. I had a pair of those when I first started biking. Admittedly, they were quite a cheap pair, but yeah, they just looked a bit naff, a bit noddy. So, but yeah, but my ankles are a little bit chilly. Actually, I say that they've warmed up a bit now, but maybe it was just the initial shock of riding in cold weather for the first time in over a decade. But I actually quite like going out in the cold weather. I'm not a lover of the hot weather, on or off a bike, to be honest. Although I have to say, coming back into biking again in the summer as I did, well, kind of spring, summer, the gear that you can buy now is so much better. It's, you know, looks better, looks more fashionable, and it's a lot cooler in both senses of the word. So I don't mind it as much. But you know, you do get very, very sweaty when you're off the bike. So yeah, I do prefer the cooler weather. But only when I'm dressed appropriately. And I've got the summer gloves on again. My Squadrons, and they're actually all right. Considering it's 7 degrees, and what, wind chill's going to take that way down, isn't it? They perform really well, and in the summer I didn't get sweaty hands either. So these are brilliant gloves if you like the look at them. And you're looking for some good all-round gloves. I mean, I'm guessing for a longer journey and really cold weather, they probably won't be up to it because my hands are a little bit chilly. But I do have my it's the slowest manoeuvre in the world. I do have my winter gloves in my pannier, so it needs to be I can swap them. Right, so we are off today to Wrest Park. Thought it'd just be a nice little pootle out to Wrest Park and see if I can get some drone footage, because it's a nice old building there and some grounds, nice big park and some trees. Might look alright, might look quite cool. Something maybe you'd be interested in. Sorry, excuse my sniffing. It is very cold, and my helmet I think is probably more suited for the summer than it is for the winter. I do have two helmets. Sorry if I'm boring you with my gear talk, but you know, this is about motorbikeing, isn't it? So maybe you'll enjoy it. So when before I got the bike, I bought a load of gear first to be prepared. And I used to have a Nolan flip front helmet. I can't remember what they call them now. Modular helmet, isn't it? I used to have a Nolan modular helmet when I rode before, and I threw that. But again, you know, I probably should have done because it was a good 10 years old. Where are we going here? Second looking. Yes, I fancied something similar again because I like the convenience of having the flip front, so that when I pull up at lights in the heat, I can just flip the front up, get a bit of fresh air. And also as a glasses wearer, it was really handy. And it had the inner visor, the smoke visor that come down so you can pretend you're in Top Gun. I really like that, so I thought, yeah, I'd go for one of those again. And I tried a succession of different helmets on of that ilk, and didn't really get on with any of them. I thought, what was the one that I liked? There was a Bell one that I really liked, but weirdly it just did not fit me. It's the shell shape was fine and it was fine on, but then the neck straps had one of these ratchet straps. It just wasn't short enough, which is crazy because it fitted fine in the head, but yeah, the strap was just too long. So I ended up getting a Shark Evo because I tried that on and it fit me and it did what I wanted. And I like the fact that you could wear it with the front flips all the way to the back. So if I was in town centres and it was very hot, I could just wear it almost like an open face helmet. So I got one of those, and because I'm a bit weird, I wore it around the house quite a bit to try and break it in before I got the bike, because I didn't want to be uncomfortable on the bike and distracting me, since I hadn't ridden it a long time. And I found it was really tight around the temples, and I was hoping that it was going to break in a little bit as I had it. It didn't seem to, really. So I thought, damn it, that's a bit of a waste of money. And when I went for a test ride on a Bullet, it was the only helmet I had, so I used it there, and it was actually fine. It worked really well. It wasn't uncomfortable. I was probably so much in panic over the fact I was riding again and enjoying myself as well at the same time, that I just didn't notice the discomfort maybe that it had. But yeah, it seemed okay. But I did fancy something that was a little bit more retro, a little bit more in keeping with the whole modern classic aesthetic. So I looked at the kind of old school 60s style ones, and Bell do one, which is quite expensive. And then I came across the Bi-City ones, the Bi-City Roadsters, and so I got one of those. So this is a Bi-City Roadster 2 in matte black. It looks really cool, and it's super comfy, super comfy. Straight out the box, it was like, yeah, just perfectly comfortable. It's got lovely kind of faux suede lining to it. So yeah, I thought, yeah, that's perfect, and that's what I've worn ever since. And it also has the added bonus of, because it's quite open around the bottom here, there's no chin guard or anything. And did it come with a chin guard? Think about it. I don't think it did. Not chin guard, you know what I mean? The little flaps that go under the chin guard. I have not been paying attention to my directions. Yeah, sorry, so the added bonus of that is the fact that it's quite open, is that I can stick my microphone in there, because I have one of the DJI Mic 2s, which is the little square job is. Turn in here, am I? Yeah. And what I've done with that is I've got a piece of ferrous sticky tape type stuff, so you get like a sheet of ferrous rubber. It's kind of like a rubbery sheet, but it's magnetic. It's not magnetic, it's like metallic. And the DJI mic has a magnetic square on the back of it, so you can attach it to things. So yeah, I stuck a strip of that in the front of the chin guard so that I can just stick my mic to it. Makes it very easy. It's no faff with wires and whatnot. And the Shark, I can't do that because the chin guard is really close to my face, so I'm not entirely sure how I would attach my mic to that, to be perfectly honest. Oh, I can't see a buggery down here. But I think that will probably be a much warmer helmet. Well, undoubtedly it would, because like I say, it isn't quite so open as this one. But we're doing okay with this, it's fine. And I'm looking cool in it, so that's the main thing, isn't it? I think we're nearly here actually. How far are we going? 0 minutes. I did come a more circuitous route rather than the fast one it was telling me to go down. Where are we? Just down here. Oh, the only problem with, I've had to raise my visor because the sun is very bright, and I needed a little extra bit of vision, but it's made my eye water. We're turning here, we are turning here, so we are here. Cute. So this is Wrest Park. I have absolutely nothing of any use to tell you about it because I don't know anything about it. I visited it before with my wife and it is very nice. Ooh, the gardens are lovely, very pleasant. Oh, look at this lovely avenue of trees with the dappled sunlight and the low shadows and all the gold foliage. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So I think what we'll do is we'll find somewhere to park up down here and I'll get the drone out and see if we can get some interesting footage. There's a lot of mole activity here. Oh, my eye is streaming. It's the downside of the cold weather, isn't it? What you have to say with this helmet, talking about using it as the winter and the cold weather, it does well with not fogging up. Helmets I've had before have had pin lock in, which if you've ever used, well, you do use a pin lock helmet, you'll know are absolutely fantastic. But this doesn't. I think it probably has some kind of coating on it, and it certainly seems to work. Oh yeah, I might come back and park in that lay-by. What on earth is that? And I think this is Wrest Park.
So what happened there was I went to wipe my eye and managed to knock my microphone out of my helmet. Unfortunately, just caught it before it went on the floor and stuck it to my tank, which is now going to be a bit of a pain in the ass getting it off my tank because that magnet is very strong and I don't want it to scratch my paintwork. Okay, let's stop this.
Well, that was nice. Hopefully you've got some good footage there of Wrest Park House and Gardens. So I'm always really self-conscious of flying a drone in public, especially in public places. But I do have a small one, which is under 250 grams, I think it is, which means I am allowed to fly it there, and I do have a drone licensee permit thing. Can't remember what it's called, but you have to get one these days, so I've got one of those as well, so I'm all compliant before anyone grasses me up. But yeah, what a lovely place. Oh yeah, it's a hell of a speed hump. It's like a nice little village as well. I think, is it Silsoe? I think it might be. Yeah, very quaint, English. But it's very expensive to live here as well. So that's that. Nice little trip out. I'm going to, where am I going here? Right, okay. I'm going to head back home. Try to be in the right gear, which I wasn't there. Head back, oh it is still so, yeah. Head back home and then straight out to see if I can take some photos of some birds of prey, which I've so far been fairly unsuccessful. Having said that, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I went to try and get a picture of a kite, because my wife's friend is writing a book about it, and I'm hoping to get a picture in there. I did actually take some pictures down my local park. I've got like a village hall with a little park out the back where I used to take my dog before he came too old to go on walks. Around the back there one day we just happened to have I presume it was a mating pair of kites, and they roosted in a tree. It was really fortuitous. I just happened to be down there with my dog, and they were flying around and they just roosted in a tree, and I had a reasonably long lens on me and my camera, because I often have my camera with me. Yeah, and they just roosted in a tree, and I got to stand underneath this tree with them literally about 4 or 5 metres away from me, looking down whilst I took photos, which is very unusual for the kites, because whenever I come across them out in the fields, they fly off very quickly and bugger off like half a mile away. But these just sat there and stared at me, so I've got some alright photos of them, which I've passed on to my wife's friend, and maybe they'll get in there. We'll see. We'll see. They weren't fantastic because the lighting was pretty drab, but we'll see. But anyway, regardless, it's such a nice day today, and I like the low sun. Get some better lighting on wildlife. So yeah, I shall take a jaunt up the fields and see if I can see one. It'll be a nice day out. Wrest Park, lovely ride on water, and some wildlife photography. What more could a man ask for? Nice little country roads like this. I'm in the wrong gear all the while today. That is one of the pitfalls and the dangers, I think, of doing moto vlogging, is that you are a little bit distracted talking to the camera or talking to the microphone all the time, which isn't good really, is it? I always cringe a little bit when I see moto vloggers and they have the bar mounted action cameras on there, and they're talking to the camera, and you can see their eyes are on the camera quite a lot of the time, and I think, oh, it's a bit dicey. I'd much rather have a point of view one like mine, so that, well, I mean, you get dickheads like that as well who just pull out in front of you. So you need your eyes on the road. He says, having missed his turn in. Right, we can get this way. I think. Are we? Yeah, why not? Stretch Walter's legs a little. This is a boring road. It's an old Lotus. Let's see what it's about. This is a bit of a boring road, and you've probably got a decent amount of drone footage, hopefully. Let's call this one a day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope wherever you are, you're having a lovely day, and you have a good weekend, or a good week, whenever you're watching this. As always, take care out there, keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!